Alright, y'all, so today we are going to be making the Season 6 tier list for Gekishin Squadra, I guess Season 6.1, which is for Goku Black. Now, this is very exciting. I think Goku Black has been a very highly anticipated character. I think I've said that like every video, but man, this guy, he's one of those guys, you know what I mean? But no, he's here. And he's very good, so I just feel like talking about him and the shape of the meta currently. Now, usually I end up going bottom up, and I think we'll go ahead and do that again just here. But again, just to throw out a few things before I start this tier list, this is mostly within mind of like queuing in a stack or at least 2 or more people, because that's what I play for the most part. However, I will bring up some things in solo queue and be like, hey, you know, this character can maybe look slightly better in solo queue play and things like that. These are also in NA lobbies and around AS rank. So again, my opinions and my views of the character could be a lot different from someone who's in C rank, for example. So I think the game can be viewed in many different spots in many different ways, even EU servers, etc. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say. And let's really just hop right into it. So firstly, with C rank here, again, these are characters that I feel like just don't really completely meet the mark for me personally. I think that's the Gammas and First Form Frieza. Now, these two characters, I feel like, well, okay, there's 3 characters I feel like feel very bad to play, at least in my personal experience. That is the Gammas, that is Frieza, that is actually also Beerus, but I think that's not really Beerus's fault. It's more so that he's bugged. Like, Beerus being bugged, unfortunately, just leads to issues, right? Where he, like, that's not like necessarily like the fault of his kit design or whatnot, but we'll bring that up later. Either way, these two characters, I feel like the Gammas, man, it just, every time you use them, like, it's not like, you can use them, but not effectively. They need a buff, man. They need to give them something. Just something, shake things up in their kit, man, because I just feel like right now they're just not good. They're core breaker. Again, I've said this, but like, what if the core breaker was also just like a move like God Jita's ultimate or God Goku's ultimate? It sounds crazy, but I think that would just give them so much extra value. Because like, okay, core breaker is extremely easy to avoid anyways, but allowing yourself to kind of, okay, I'm setting this mark direction here as like where I'm gonna throw out my gamma to, easy, bam, you know. Obviously maybe it doesn't have to cover the entire map, but like somewhere like that, because it just feels bad. Obviously the drawback is that, oh, you use this core breaker but you lose gamma too, so that's why I'm not saying it should cover the whole map, because then you could just sit by spawn, right? But I think that would be awesome. Honestly, it sounds crazy, but I mean, I would love a shift for the Gammas to become crazy. And just obviously other buffs just in their kit in general. Yeah, that's kind of it. I believe they don't really have like defenses in their kit for the most part. I mean, I know this is not really updated, but I understand this combines their HP and this restores their HP on pawn activation. But they don't have like any like defense base, like defense up in their kit either, which does hurt them in terms of their tankiness. So Frieza, I don't know, he just kind of feels bad to use in like in comparison to other characters when you're in, because the thing about Frieza is he doesn't really feel like a technical. He feels more like a sub DPS, you know what I mean, where he is able to like control the field decently. He's kind of like weaker Bojack, kind of like, I don't know, it's weird to explain it, but I think you guys kind of understand, where he like is really nice at assisting with bosses, really nice at tower defense, but I feel like Bojack just has way more burst damage potential. Frieza doesn't, like, Bojack wouldn't have to worry about his minions getting killed, for example. But when you're in solo queue, Frieza, you know, he has the movability around the map. He can do multiple things. He can carry a bad team. Like, that's the difference between Frieza and solo queue in here. But like in a stack with a coordinated team with players that are like actually, you know, able to communicate with each other, Frieza just feels kind of like mediocre compared to the rest of the characters. So that's why I have Frieza in C tier. B tier here is going to end up being, where is this boy? Piccolo. We're going to do 18 for DPS, and then we're going to do... See, Deborah I was having in C tier. But I might have Deborah in B tier. I actually would say I would prefer to have a Deborah on my team than a Gamma's at this point, in my personal opinion. Deborah, his changes were actually pretty decent for him. He's not crazy, but I think he can do some things sometimes compared to him doing nothing all the time. Right? I personally like the changes that he's been getting, but at the end of the day, just not really enough. In coordinated stacks, you could actually make him shine a bit, but that's really all I could say. Like, especially compared to a bunch of the other characters on the list. Sorry, I took a drink of my coffee. I'm kind of thirsty. But 18. I think she suffers a bit right now because of the existence of Goku Black. Goku Black's skill 1 has a high pressure. He can kind of just stop her. He can grab her, move her around. And it's like, okay, like 18 uses her skills and she's really good at like smelting opponents down. But again, late game, she kind of falls off a little bit. That's always been the case with her. She's been an early game demon since like day 1. And yeah, I think those are like the two biggest things for her. Of course, like ranged attackers don't help her at all either. Like God Goku, Kefla. And even Toppo's existence is like, okay, she wants to be like a diver character, assassin, but it's like Toppo's like the moment she tries to dive in on someone, Toppo could be there, man. And it's like, well, he applies DLT, he punishes you for diving, kind of. Like you guys get my point? Because she wants to be up close, and he's like, nah, I don't care, actually. And I'm gonna heal off your attacks, actually, technically. I'm gonna lifesteal. This guy just doesn't feel good to use. I don't know. That's just me. Again, you could use him, but I think he just has... It's very easy to jump Piccolo. He's just very obvious on the map. I feel like if you just are keeping him in the back of your minds, it's really not that bad to handle him. Solid barrier, you just run solid barrier as the card, and it just counters his kit. I feel like his like skill 1, it kind of just gets countered. Obviously, like, you know, if you're in a coordinated team, you could kind of play around that a bit by like trying to get rid of the barrier and then having your Piccolo shoot the enemy, but it's situational, obviously. And his special beam cannon, like I said, it's just obvious. Like if you see Piccolo charging special beam cannon, you just jump him, you know, unless there's like a super big priority, but like you gotta take care of this guy, you know. It's not hard. He has mediocre escape. That's kind of it. His skill 2 kind of is whatever as well. Like it's, yeah. We also do have here, I'm gonna go ahead and put some of the weaker technicals in this here. We're gonna do Majin Buu. We're gonna do, I think, Gotenks, Kid, Gohan, and finally, yeah, I think that's it for the technicals, honestly. Yeah. So these 3 again have spots where they can shine, but I think they're just like decent. Kid Han buff, it's like a decent buff, but like it's just like okay. Gotenks has the silence. His skill 1's kind of bad. His donut could like be really nice in coordinated plays. His ghost are like okay as well. Majin Buu has pretty good healing for team fights. I think his candy beam is really good actually, but I just feel like his passive skill is just useless as well. Like what is his passive skill gives him extra rush damage? I always think that's just stupid. Like, yeah. And again, he's another character like Piccolo where he's a very easy target. Now, if you get a Majin Buu rolling, man, like, and you get a huge advantage, Majin Buu just makes your team unkillable. That's for sure. But I think it's for me, it's mostly the fact that I don't think Majin Buu is in A tier rather than Majin Buu. Oh yeah, he's perfect for B tier. I think he's the highest in B tier. That's my personal opinion. I think he could shine the most out of these two characters in more situations, but yeah. Next three. Tanks. Cooler, Zamasu, and Super Saiyan Vegeta. Now, I feel like Zamasu and Super Saiyan Vegeta feel a lot better in solo queue. Zamasu is like even in a okay spot right now. But man, like Dende helps him out. Like, but Dende also helps Super Saiyan Vegeta out too. Cooler doesn't feel that great. Like, again, these three guys can do things, right? Zamasu has his ult slow. Zamasu has multiple slows in his kit. DOT, he can be very aggressive. I think that's all really good early game for the most part. I mean, he's helped out by Dende late game. Super Saiyan Vegeta, same thing. He has slows in his kit. He has easy waste farm, lots of shield restoration. Again, these two kind of operate in a very similar way. But neither of them have like real defense. They just have a lot of regeneration. So characters that could do a ton of damage, or even like counter them with DOT over time, like in a very big way. Lots of burst damage. They get melted and they just get jumped. That's how it is, unfortunately. As characters, that's just how it is, you know? Cooler feels just like a technical to me at this point. Like, I feel like Cooler, he's not tanky. Like, again, what I'm looking for in a tank is to be tanky. We've had plenty of tanky tanks. We have tanky tanks. Or at least something that's, like, able to allow him to be a meta counter. Like, the best thing Cooler's always had is really his ultimate. But again, it's like, Cooler, just like any other technical, is an enabler. Like, he enables you to do things. Like, this is such a technical type skill right here. This Death Stopper. This is a grab, and then you hold the enemy into the ground. And then this is just like an AoE ult that like stuns people, basically. It's not really stuns, but like has a really huge pull. Like that's what this ult is. Like that, all of this feels very technical, you know? At least in my opinion. He's controlling like where you move. He has decent CC with that, but like, man, this is not even enough as well. Like, I feel like his movement speed down on here does not feel nearly what it does with Goku Blacks. And obviously this is a wider range, especially maxed out, but I mean, is it really though? Maybe that's not. Either way, Cooler does not feel like a tank to me. Not a fan of this guy, honestly. Okay. Now A tier is like Divine Draw Merchants in a sense, where I feel like they can look really good in certain Divine Draws. They are still a tier above B tier, but I think like these characters really are highlighted by Divine Draws, and that's why they're in this tier as well. We got Beerus. I feel like Beerus is like super. I had like him, Kid Ku, 3Ku. Like Superstar helps them. This guy's also benefited a lot from like Team Rush Go and Skill Boost 2. Beerus has also like benefited from the existence of Topo. Like Beerus and Topo, it's like, if it's not for Topo's buffs, Beerus would be like homeless. Like, I'm sorry, Beerus as a character is just, he's not bad, but he feels bad to play, man. Like, his skill 3 doesn't work half the time. It hits mobs half the time. His ultimate does the same thing, where his ultimate hits farm. Like, it targets farmer on the map. Like, you're genuinely better off leaving this ultimate at skill level 1, so it targets less enemies. The number of maximum targets, number of blasts when there's only one target increases. So the thing is that you can hit multiple targets the more level, like the higher the level of skill is, but that means that you can hit more farm rounds. It's easier to hit his ultimates at level 1 than it's at level 3, which is absolutely stupid. His ultimate should not be hitting the Frieza soldiers on the map, man. Like, that's just dumb. The Cell Juniors on the map. His skill 2 is his best move. His skill 1 is decent. The execution is good. But, yeah. I don't know. He just has issues to his game. And also, he's bugged still. Like, his skill reset still doesn't happen, which hurts him. Like, at this point, it's like, I gotta consider that, man. It does hurt this guy, unfortunately. I don't think he needs a lot. He also has, like, a little bit of a lag when it comes to, like, his skills. And when they come out, I think if the casting was a bit faster as well, that'd be nice. I think that's what I would like to see. They lowered his skill cooldowns, but I think the casting of his skills should be a bit faster. And obviously fix the bug, and he'll be looking pretty good. Super Saiyan Goku, Diamond Goku, and Kale, and Bojack. I think all these characters are superstar merchants in a sense. Kale and Bojack especially are also really good in healing attack. Kale's good in skill 2 boost. Super Saiyan Goku, he's really nice in skill 2 boost as well. Healing attack actually is pretty good too. Like these guys like are good in a lot of these divine draws. Like they're good options because their attacks are either super AoE or, you know, their kit in general just combines with it. But for the most part, a lot of them have like a good amount of AoE attacks. And Diamond Goku probably down here. Yeah. I don't know. Like, this doesn't really matter, but I feel like I would rather go out of my way to pick a Kale or a Bojack than I would for Super Saiyan Goku or Daima. That's just me. Daima is literally superstar merchant too. It's just at least he's not a better spot than these two because he has like a decent secure. Powerful dance could be good. His rush attacks got buffed. I tried it out. It feels like a decent change actually, but it's not what's gonna make him great again, if that makes sense. Super Saiyan Goku has always just been a decent character. I think he's gonna work well in like nearly every meta. That's just how it is. His kit is just like that. He's very basic, but like because of that, he is good basic. Does that make sense? Yeah. I'm gonna already talk about these two, but yeah. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Superstar Merchant. Skill 1 is gone, but like, you know, he's still like not bad. Next, I think I'll put God Vegeta. Oh no, that's not God Vegeta. Sorry. Apparently I'm just stupid. And then I think 17 and Krillin fit here. That's not 17 again, dude. I keep fucking up. What the hell? Okay. Anyways, 17 and Krillin. I think 17 is a decent play into Goku Black actually. So is Krillin. Well, so was Krillin. And then they nerfed his mines. But on Superstar, he could actually still do some decent stuff. Healing attack. If people don't think about his mines, that could actually also be useful. But his mines still explode on healing attack. So like, even if an energy blast hits his mine, they will still explode and heal allies around the mines. So like, if you are holding the tower down and your enemy explodes the mines even before they get there, like, I don't know, it's just like any team fight going around there, you can still heal your allies a decent amount. His ultimate maxed out is still good. 17, again, like I said, he has stuff to help him combat Goku Black, but I personally think he should have gotten a buff. His skill 2 feels very weak in particular. His skill 1 is like a decent. His skill 3 is his best move besides his ultimate. He's really just skill 3, skill ultimate merchant. He's really good against like healing attack as well. Like if you want to like combat like Bojack or Kale or like any of these healing attack characters, even like Topo, like anti-healing zone could be really good. That's kind of it for this A tier though. Next we have S tier, which I feel like S tier is the largest tier for sure, like by far. Maybe here's what I'll do is we'll just go down the line with DPSs and we'll fill in the rest of the tier together because I think that'll make sense. God Goku's best DPS, so I think that's very, very straightforward. God Goku, we've talked about him since April. Like God Goku. Like there's not much for me to say, man. We all know God Goku, man. Stupid character. Super Vegito still S tier. I think he works pretty well. He benefits from the Divine Draw still. Like healing attack, for example, is nice for him. Super Start is nice for him. It's all the farm around the map makes it super easy for him to get a really huge level advantage because he's really good at farming. Even though he has the XP decrease, it doesn't really feel noticeable at all. So it's pretty much just not a drawback at all. And he can transform whenever, which I think is extremely valuable. Gaining that extra level. Again, you just wait till you're level 7. You transform at 8, and that's just pretty much what every Vegito does at this point, is they get to level 7 and then they transform into 8 for the first boss. I think that's actually not an uncommon thing to happen at all. Trunks, I think, is really nice right now. I feel like Trunks is one of the better DPSs, actually. This guy could do some really nasty things. Oob is in a good spot right now. I thought he would be hurt more by Goku Black, but not really. I think I undervalued Oob in my last tier list. He has the no obstruction on his skill 2. I feel like that is really nice into Goku Black as well, and allows him to do his dashes even through his skill 1 zone. Oob's ultimate is still really powerful. Yeah, that's kind of it. Oob just can shoot out a ton of damage, and he has really nice mobility, and he has no obstruction in his kit. Speaking of no obstruction, Broly. I like Broly personally. I feel like he's in a good spot. For my use as a Broly, he's been very good against Goku Black. He could just, hey, I'm gonna jump into Goku Black, right? He still have an issue against Goku, and even Kefla, and Toppo, which I think these 3 are still the best 3 DPS. Goku, Kefla, Toppo. Toppo's nerf, I think, brings him down from being Z tier. I think his nerf is perfect, personally. He's still, pretty much meta, but he's not healing nearly as much, because it went from a 60% heal to a 40% heal. I think that was perfect. Or, no, it was 80%? God damn. Going down to 60%, I think that was perfect. That was a really good nerf, honestly. His counter also does less damage the more farther away you are, so I guess that's cool. But I don't really think that nerf is a crazy thing to happen to him. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's all I had to say, really. Kefla benefited from nearly every single Divine Draw, right? Next we have tanks. Bulma, Bardock, Caulifla, I think, is in a really good spot right now. So, okay. Bulma is Bulma. She travels around the map. Her nerfs basically haven't really done much for her. At least she's killable, though. I feel like I like Bardock as best tank. I think this guy is pretty broken. So, duh. His defenses have never gone nerfed. So he's just so absurdly, extremely tanky. It's insane. And obviously, he has Dende. Which, Bardock with Dende compared to these 2 with Dende, he mogs them so hard. It's not even funny. We can actually still do decent damage. He has Wrath. He has he could basically travel halfway across the map with the stun and his skill 3. He has mobility, which is why he's able to utilize Dende a lot better than these 2. Because these 2, after Dende runs out, they can't really get out. Bardock has his skill 3. He's like, yep, my Dende's running out. I'm out of here. Oh, alright, my Dende's running out. I'm chipping down the towers to save your skill 3, or use your skill 3 first, if anything, so that it's back by the time Dende runs out. And you're like, okay, well, Dende's gone. I'm out of here. Bye, guys. And you just leave. That's that. Yeah, that's kind of it. Caulifla has gained a really good buff, man. That speed increase on the skill 2 is so nice, because okay, so she gets a 45% movement speed up after she lands her skill 2, I believe, right? Upon dealing the additional damage. So she has to hit a mob, and then she dives over and gets a 45% increase in that. The only issue is Goku Black's high pressure. But besides that, I mean, I find it to be very useful. Like, just kind of moving around as a side beam, or even, again, if you hit an enemy and you could just get out for free. I think her skill 3 is good except anything except God Goku. Well, her skill 3 is good against everything except God Goku is what I try to say. I can't talk apparently. Oh, I also think Baby's up here. I forgot about Baby. I feel like Baby is probably here. Baby could be very disgusting, and if you know what you're doing, you could have permanent uptime. I feel like the last tier list I slightly overrated Baby and had him in Z tier, but also Topo not being in Z tier anymore kind of brings him down a little bit, in my opinion anyways. Beyond that, we have the technicals. Oh wait, no, I want to talk about Cell and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta first. Sorry. Cell. His real use is his ultimate. Really good combat against Goku, Kefla, Topo, and like boss arena, stuff like that. He can play pretty safe early game and get his gauge up still. Like, he could survive lane now, I guess you could say. Honestly, I was talking with Annie about that. And at first I was like, is Cell really like as good? But I was thinking about it more and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Then Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I actually like this guy quite a bit. Probably a little more than other people. I think he has no obstruction in his skill 3. Again, no obstruction seems to be quite important with Goku Black running around, but also like frontal form Frieza. You know, Ultimate Gohan. Like, this guy also, again, is blocking most energy attacks. Kefla, you know, God Topo has a lot of energy attacks. Trunks, I think, does energy attacks. Super Vegito, Oob. Like, again, a lot of these meta picks are going to have energy attacks. Even, like, again, Kale, Bojack, like, on healing attack. This guy has pretty good defense. He's really nice at being able to make a push. He has multiple different ways to play him. The only thing about Vegeta is that sometimes he doesn't feel the tankiest, but he has his shield and a Dende helper to kind of help aside that as well. So I think that is nice. And again, like, the difference between this guy and like these two is that this guy also has a stun. He also has like multiple forms of just moving the enemy around, like with his shield plus his ultimate. He actually does pretty decent damage, honestly. Skill 2 boost he's benefited by. I like this guy. Like, God Vegeta as well is like he's benefited by healing attacks, stuff like that, but I think he's not as tanky as this guy. I mean, are they in the same tier though? Probably they are in the same tier. I think they're closer than I was initially thinking here. I almost want to put Cell down as well. I think I'll do this. I think this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm talking myself through this. I think so, yeah. I think I like this better. Okay. Goku Black best technical. Frieza second best technical. I think these three are up here still. I initially moved Hit down a tier. Then I was thinking about it more. Hit still, like, a good Hit, a Hit player that knows how to play Hit and is in a coordinated stack could do very well. Hit and solo queue could still do pretty decent. And, you know, there's less Kid Buus around. There's honestly less Friezas around. Goku Black doesn't really bother Hit as much as like these two, in my opinion. I mean, Kefla could be annoying against him, like with him around, but it's not like he's impossible to deal with. AoE Blindle is still annoying. Or I said he's, but I meant she's. She's not impossible to deal with as Hit, even. I mean, Frieza still could do good stuff. Like, we talked about him a lot. Ultimate Gohan has been Ultimate Gohan. Like, you know, Ultimate Gohan, the Stun King, bro. This guy moves around like chess pieces. That's what I've always said. Kid Buu, even through his nerfs, I think could still do some really good stuff. It's crazy how many times this guy's been nerfed, but Goku Black. I guess we'll end up the video off here. The character that is on the title. We're ending the video off. This guy in solo queue sucks, in my opinion. I think he feels really okay. He doesn't suck, but he feels like in solo queue, I'm gonna say he's like A tier, even. Like I feel like there's just better solo queue tanks or technicals. Like I would feel much more comfortable using like a Kid Buu in solo queue, or I don't know, yeah. Not that Goku Black can't use work in solo queue for sure. I think he can still be a good option there, but in a coordinated team, this guy is pretty broken. Who would have thought? A character that has AoE stun, immune to all grab. He has an ultimate zone that lowers all enemies' HP. There's probably more that I could list. You know, his zones keep you from vanishing or dashing, and also he has a zone that lowers your defense. At the same time, he's buffing your allies. Or his allies, but you guys can tell my copy hasn't kicked in yet, huh? But either way, I made this list yesterday, so I'm like chilling, really. Yeah. Anyways, this is my tier list. Yep, I feel pretty good about this. So let me know what you guys are thinking. I appreciate y'all for watching. I guess I'll just catch you guys next time. Peace out.